Hello, everyone. Zeppelin Rice, Wings Always, Making 100 CEOs podcast. Listen, I'm going to come to you guys a little bit different. Our old format, we made some changes. We kind of made some personnel changes, and we have to grow with the business. And sometimes growing with the business means that you have to go in a different direction. It doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean that you don't adjust. And adjustments are good. And I really wanted to be a little bit more personable anyway. We're still going to do interviews. We'll still bring you interviews. We'll still bring you movers and shakers in Oklahoma City, because Oklahoma City will be our first restaurant, will be our first location. So we're still going to bring you the movers and shakers of Oklahoma City, and we're still going to do special presentations, and we're going to go out in the community, and you'll get to learn about what's going on in this city and why we chose this city as our first location and our home location for Wings Always, Making 100 CEOs. So I'm going to try to bring you guys daily. I don't want to oversay and not do it. So my goal is to bring us daily videos. Sometimes life gets in the way of daily videos, and we gotta not let life get in the way. But I'm going to try to bring you daily videos. If not, we're definitely going to do at a minimum 3 a week. And in those videos, I'll give you my day-to-day updates, what's going on with the business, how we're progressing, what goals we're going to accomplish that week, what direction we're going to go in. And I just want to bring, you all with me along on the way, so that you get to see us from home office right now where we're at, to eventually our corporate office, to eventually opening day, and you get to experience, the whole exciting road. And I'm excited about bringing everyone along on this journey with me. It's an important journey, and it's a change in the way we do business, because we're really connecting, the virtual world with the real world, and everyone's going to come together at some point. And that's just the new way of the future. That's just the way to open up a new business now. I want you to be able to trust me as a business owner, trust me as that person that's bringing you this great, venue that you can come to, that's safe, that's fun, that's, filled with things that your family can enjoy. And I want you to be able to trust me as, someone who can bring this to you, in the simplest words. One of the reasons that I was really motivated today to come and talk about Wings Always, Making 100 CEOs, and the direction that we're going in is because there's something in the news right now that's going on, and I try to stay away from politics. So even though I'm very opinionated in politics, and it's really hard for me to not talk about politics, because politics, influences everything that we do, whether you're aware of it or not. Sometimes, there's people who walk around and don't know a thing about what's going on in the government and could care less, and still are successful, still have a great life, and they kind of moving around, without knowing anything. Then there's people who are locked in that understand, if we elect this certain official, that we're going to be fighting things, and we're going to be turning back policies that we don't agree with, and it's going to be a struggle for 4 or 5 years, however long that politician is in office. Sometimes, when you talk about Congress, they're in office for a very long time, our whole lifetime. So without getting into politics too much, because I want to talk about Dr. Umar, because Dr. Umar Ifatunde Abdullah Johnson, I want to say his whole name, and he says it 3 times. Dr. Umar Ifatunde Abdullah Johnson. I'm probably butchering your name, but we're going to say it one more time, Dr. Umar, because in the sense of Dr. Umar, we have to say it like he says it. Dr. Umar Ifatunde Abdullah Johnson. So, if you really can't turn on YouTube, you can't turn on, anything that's of our culture and not hear his name, especially right now. He came onto the internet a few weeks ago and he was letting everyone know that he was in Africa and that his accounts had gotten frozen. And he was asking for money. And, so everyone has jumped in and started attacking Dr. Umar, for asking for money. Let me set the record straight. I'm not a big Dr. Umar fan, but what I am a fan of is his idea. I am a fan of what he's trying to accomplish. I am a fan of if he can really get his school open and if he can really go down the right track, it could be a positive thing for our culture. And, it could be a small piece of what we need as a culture to move forward. And so everyone is attacking Dr. Umar right now. The biggest thing for him right now is that he's a scam artist and that he's been scamming people for 13 years. And his journey is kind of funny. I guess the reason I'm talking about Dr. Umar's journey is because his journey, reminds me a little bit about Wings Always' journey. And when I say that, it's the progression of an idea that starts in your head to that journey of reality. And from that progression of that idea to that journey of reality, takes some time. And especially if you want it to be different, especially if you're a trailblazer, if you're a forward thinker, and if you're opening something that could change how we do our next business or change the world or change, the way we think about going into a certain aspect of life or our job or, just forward thinking. And I really feel like Dr. Umar is forward thinking. I feel like I'm not going to say that this man's heart is in the wrong place. Is he a great businessman? Is he a great administrator? Is he a great face of what he's trying to do? Sometimes the people that have the idea are not always the people that executes the idea. That's why when you're in a corporate structure, you may have a CEO and then you have right under the CEO, you have the operational managers, and right under the operational managers, you have the regional managers, and right under the regional managers, you have the district managers, right under the district managers, you have the GMs of each, organization that they're all, leading. And through that face, that face has the idea, that face has the direction, but it has to filter down through all of these people to make sure it's executed smoothly and that it's executed properly. Right now, we're looking at Dr. Umar's face. He's the face of his idea. And I don't believe that once he can get to a point that he can get his school open or he can get his business off the ground, that he's not going to be the operationals person. He's going to have an operation in place. And once he has that operation in place, I think everyone will feel better about what it is he's trying to do and can understand a little bit more about what he's trying to do. Because I'm not a big Dr. Umar fan. Some of the things that he says online, some of the words he uses, he's a very great speaker. I wish I could speak as he speaks because he's a great speaker. But some of the things that he says is counterproductive to some of the things that he's trying to accomplish. And calling people coons, you know, because a black guy marries a white person. Come on. We got to be past that. All of our if we source all of our monies together, and not of our monies, just our resources. If we source our resources, that's why the name of my podcast is Wings Always Making 100 CEOs. 100 of us going in one direction is going to be more powerful than one person trying to go in one direction. I don't want all the money. I don't want all the fame. I don't want all the riches. I don't want any of that. I want 100 of us to be able to take care of our families, to be able to leave a legacy for what we want to do, to be able to go to that ball game for our kids, to not work to the bone to when it's all said and done and it's time to retire, we're dead. We can't do anything. We can barely walk around, so we can't even enjoy entire retirement because we've worked all our life. So my goal in building 100 CEOs is to be able to create, generational wealth within 100 of us. And then us 100 will do that for the next 100 and for the next 100. I believe that Dr. Umar's heart is in the right place. I believe that 12 years ago when he started this idea and he brought it to the world and he did what he needed to do. He went to school. We have to look at his accomplishments. He has a big mouth, but we really have to look at his accomplishments. He did go to school. He did get his degree. He did dedicate himself, to his craft. And he has great ideas. If you sit and just kind of listen to him and filter out some of the crazy, that's what the right wingers say about Donald Trump. They say that he has the best ideas. You just have to filter out his crazy. And if you filter out his crazy, you can see that his vision and his heart is in the right place. Do we agree with that? That's an individual thing. But with Dr. Umar, for me, I feel like his heart is in the right place. I feel like his passion is in the right place. He has done the work, the educational work, to educate himself and to help educate others in the walk that he's walking, his Pan-African walk. And I think right now we are attacking this man, and from every direction. We are literally Gaddafi in him. And if you know what Gaddafi is, he was this leader that they just at the end beat down. They literally beat him to death. We're Gaddafi in this man right online. And, kicking him when he's down. And, when you kick a person when they're down, you bring out the worst of them. And I don't want to bring out the worst of this guy because I really believe that his heart is in the right place. And am I going to write him a check right now? No. But I support his movement. I support what he's doing. And I want us to take a step back if we can and just look at him as a man. And he is not perfect. He is not perfect in what he's trying to do. But this man is intelligent. And this man has a great idea. And this man has our young black boys in his mind. That's when you strip everything away, when you strip all the pieces down and when you break it all apart and you look at, what is his goal? His goal is to give a generation of black boys a good chance, a head start in life. So we have to do everything that we can do in our power, short of attacking this guy every day and calling him a scammer, and all the things that, because if we really look at it, Dr. Umar is not a scammer. He's not scamming us. Is he doing the right things with the money that he's raising? Everybody isn't a smart business person. Everybody isn't a head of a company. There's a reason why there's an elite class of CEOs. There's a reason why there's, the worker bee. There's a reason why there's the queen bee. Everybody can't be the queen bee. But when I look at his idea, when I look at what he's trying to accomplish, to me, that's bigger than what I don't like about him. It's much bigger than what I don't like about him. And I want us to take a look at him for what he's trying to accomplish opposed to what we don't like about him. And we have to quit as a culture just publicly beating each other. We can look at the same thing. His idea started 12 years ago. Wings Always, my idea started probably 8 years ago. I'm right behind him. My doors aren't open yet. I haven't asked anybody for a dime yet. Don't worry, I am. But I haven't asked anybody for a dime yet. But my idea of bringing 100 CEOs together so that we can move forward, so that we can build generational wealth, is the heart of what I'm doing. That's where I was. I said, what can I do? What can I do? Along with building a business and building something that I love, what can I do to bring more people with me on this journey? That's what I can do. What can we do for Dr. Umar is I think we need to try to just take a step back and try to look at the heart of his message, not the man delivering it, the heart of his message, and see what we can do to help move him forward. And I'm not telling anyone, and I'm not advocating for anyone to stop what they're doing and write a check. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is let's not be a part of tearing this person down continuously. Tearing this person down. Let's stop being a part of calling people names. Let's stop being a part of not seeing it through. Let's see it through. And in the end, at the end of the day, when his struggle is done, it's going to be one or two things happen. We're going to be looking at a grand opening of a school that we can then support, or we're going to be looking at someone who falls away in the dust and we never see him again. But the journey is the journey, and we have to respect the journey. And that's all I'm asking. I'm asking for us as a culture to just respect his journey before we're so quick to judge his journey. And so I had to bring that out because I'm just seeing too much negative about this man. And trust me, I could be the same one. I can get up here and start knocking all the things that he's doing wrong. I can get up here and start knocking all the things that he's saying. And I can go along with the crowd and say that I believe he's taking you for your money. If I truly believe that, I would say it. And if I truly believe that's his end game, I would be steering you away from him. But I really believe in his heart that his end game is to give our black kids, whichever ones that he can grab a hold of, a step up in life. And if he does that for one black child, if he does that for one black boy, it was worth the 12 years, guys. It was worth the 12 years it took. If he changes one little black boy's life, it was worth it. So let's look at, what it can be as opposed to what we think it is. And again, I'm going to come to you every day. Every day. Let me not oversay that. I'm going to try to come as many days as I can. I'm going to try to come as much as I can. Minimum is 3 times a week. And I want to take you on this journey with me. I want to let you know what I'm doing. I want to let you know, what contacts I'm making, the progress we're making, the funds that we're raising. this year is a fundraising. So 2025, we're raising funds. That's our goal. And whatever you can do to help, I'll set up those links. And we're gonna get to a point where everyone is on this journey right with me every day. So I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the time that everyone takes into watching our videos and subscribing to us and liking us and sharing us. A lot of you have been on this journey with me for a while, and I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to when we have that opening party and we can all shake hands and celebrate together. So I'm going to end today, and we'll come back to you later this week. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, so today is Wednesday. We'll try to come back again before Friday. And everyone enjoy your days, and we will talk to you soon. Wings always making 100 CEOs. Thank you.